What's up guys, Sean here, and in this video I'm going to be unboxing this knife that is sent in from Jared Neeves, Neeves Knives. If you aren't subscribed to his channel, you need to stop what you're doing right now. Go subscribe to him, check out his videos, and then come back after you finish doing that. This is a knife that was one of 6 that were given away for his over 100,000 subscriber giveaway. That is insane. I can only dream of celebrating that point and reaching that point. Well, I say that, but I do believe in myself. I believe in this channel, and it just takes steady hard work and dedication and consistency, and you get out of it what you put into it. And one thing, well, first of all, I want to say big thank you to Jared. He is literally one of the greatest guys in the knife community that I know. He has been very, very supportive, very helpful, very kind, just really a great person towards me ever since me and him first started talking. And I was watching Neeves Knives long before the idea or the thought of creating my own channel really even crossed my mind. So I was watching him for a while before I started this channel. I was still into knives, but anyways, so Jared has been there for me through a lot of stuff. This channel is going on almost a year old now. He's been supportive the whole way. When I was going through the breakup with my daughter's mother and had to find somewhere to live, and was going through moving and just all kinds of stresses and being bummed out and stuff, he went out of his way to make sure I was all right, and he made a $100 donation to me just to help make things a little bit easier. I didn't ask anyone for help, but that's just one of the examples of how special this community is and how amazing of a guy Jared is. And there was another member of the community who also did the same thing for me. Both were I can't think of the word, but I didn't ask for help from anyone. I was gonna figure it all out and make it work regardless, but it was definitely helpful. That money helped me get groceries the first week that I moved into the location that I'm at right now. Here's one. He invited me to come on with him on his live stream back when I was only at, I don't know, 300 or 400 subscribers. That brought attention to my channel, and that was really the first time that me and Jared talked back and forth, and came to find that me and him actually have a lot in common. So it was only natural that we would become friends. And yeah, so I'm really excited about opening this up. I'm really shocked that I won the giveaway. This is the first giveaway item I've ever won, and I can't think of a better giveaway that I would like to be a winner of, So that was an amazing giveaway, very generous. Jared's a very generous guy, and yeah, so without any further ado, let's open this up, and then we're gonna get into why some of these other knives are on the table. I'm opening this box with my Zero Tolerance 0562 Ti. This is a Hinder design. but it's manufactured, produced by Zero Tolerance here in the USA. Excellent knife. It is basically an XM18 for a little bit over $100 cheaper. So, or close, almost $200 cheaper. Very, very nice knife. And I can honestly say it's probably just as good as an XM18. It actually is better than the XM18 in certain areas, but at the end of the day, it still isn't the real deal. I mean, it is the real deal, but there's differences, and I still love both. But it's an amazing knife. I will link it in the description. All of the items linked in the description are all things that I highly recommend, all things that I own and purchased with my own money and would purchase again in a heartbeat. That's the only time I recommend stuff to you, is if I would gladly spend my own hard-earned money on it. And the links in the description are my Amazon affiliate links, so if you do use those, I will get a small commission, and that goes to help support the channel and make all this stuff possible, and help more things become possible in the future. So anything you guys buy through my links is greatly appreciated. And you know, I always support any and all forms of support, even liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, obviously. You know, getting sharpening services done by me. I've had people make PayPal donations. Sorry about that. I had a call coming in. I had to take it, and sorry for all the going off on tangents and stuff, and kind of clustered thoughts or sporadic thoughts. Just stick with me if you can, because I have lots of cool stuff to go over in this video. So, to the moment of truth.
We have ignition.
Dun dun dun. This right here is the Manix 2 XL by Spyderco, clearly. And any of you guys who have been with me for a little while now know that I am a big time Spyderco fanboy. I have more Spyderco knives than any other knife brand, and I truly believe they are one of the greatest knife brands. Eric and Sal Glesser are two of the greatest knife makers of all times. And they're a pioneer in the industry for bringing new blade steels to market. Woo! They produce knives and more blade steels than any other company. Their knives are, the majority of them are all designed around performance. They're designed for cutting performance, ergonomic performance, carrying performance. You know, they're built to be strong and light and cut well, and they are literally the perfect balance of all the things that we look for in knives. Fidget factor, cool factor, customizability, aftermarket parts options. I mean, the list goes on. And holy crap, that's fucking great. Woo! First thing I'm noticing, Lynch Northwest, deep carry clip. That's killer. I'm glad that it has a Lynch clip, because I put Lynch clips on all my Spydercos. As you can see right here, my SpideyChef, Lynch Northwest, wire replacement clip, highly recommend. On my Gale Bradley 2, I have the left-handed pair of 3, the left-hand pair of 3 clip. This is Lynch clip also, but it's the left-handed pair of 3 version, and the shape of it fits perfectly for the Gale Bradley 2. Or you can get the longer one like this, whatever you prefer. Both of them do not have any hot spots, but this one you feel it a little bit less, so it's whatever, you know, preference you have. But on to this bad boy, the Manix 2 XL. this is really cool, guys. I had a Manix 2 before. I customized it, did the Flytanium carbon fiber scales, got anodized titanium hardware, all that stuff, titanium ball cage. So I'm very familiar with the Manix 2, but this is my first time having the XL in hand, and I'm already getting good vibes from it. So let's go ahead and give this a flick. Freaking right. I'm going to try to stop dropping the F-bombs. It's not a good reflection of my character and me as a person. So let's check the edge. She has been sharpened, I believe, or maybe not. Nope, that's a fresh factory edge. Well, it might have been cut with, but I believe this is definitely a factory edge, because if you look back here, when we come down towards the ricasso is this ledge right here that separates the cutting edge from the, I guess, the blade tang, and it has that little unsharpened section. With all my Spydercos, I always bring the edge all the way back to the ricasso, so there is no area of the blade that you can get caught up on when cutting and snag. You will just glide through anything and everything. So yeah, I will definitely be putting a nice nasty edge on this bad boy, but it doesn't need one at the moment. Grab some phone book paper. It's certainly not like extremely sharp, but it might do the job. Let's see. Oh, yep, that's a good edge. Little snag. So perfectly functional. Let's close it. Ooh. Thumb flick's good. Been a little while since I've had the Manix. Yeah, this is definitely a winner. Another big thank you to Jared. I really appreciate you, brother. Thank you for everything that you have done for me and everything you do for the community. If nobody else has told you today, then let me be the first one to tell you that you are truly, truly appreciated, and you are an exceptional asset to the knife community. Yeah, it wouldn't be the same without you. So I appreciate you. This is an awesome knife. Really excited I got this. Okay, so as far as the other knives on the table go, we'll start over here with a budget guy. This is the Civivi Chevalier. Already did the first impressions unboxing video. The review is going to be coming up, and I was going to try to use the factory edge the entire time leading up to the review, but you guys know me, I couldn't resist, and today I threw a 600 grit KME edge on this bad boy, 15 degrees per side, and I think this might be one of the sharpest knives I ever sharpened. I mean, I'm used to sharpening all the hardest steels that you can think of, and having them cut like, you know, like it's cut through air. So when I have the treat of working with a budget steel, guys, check this out. See. Yeah, this bitch is sharp. I mean, this knife is sharp. Forgive me. Alright, so this thing sharpened up very easily and took an extremely sharp, nasty edge. I left it at 600 grit because this is going to be a user. I mean, I have no interest in making this a showpiece. It's a $70 knife. I have fancy knives for that, and I even use my fancy knives. So yeah, this one is going to be a user. Wasn't trying to make the edge pretty or anything. I mean, obviously I want it to be nice and clean and a quality edge, but wasn't going for a mirror or anything. But this thing is extremely sharp. Very sharp. And very sticky, very aggressive. It initiates the cut very easily. So for those of you who stuck around through the rambling, this is part of the video where it starts to pay off. Alright, next up, this right here, this beautiful Gale Bradley 2 does not belong to me. This is a knife that belongs to a sharpening customer, and it was someone who was actually referred to me from Jared. Another amazing thing that Jared has done is recommend my sharpening services to his viewers. Me and Jared talk about sharpening back and forth all the time. We share our work and our results back and forth, and you know, we're both really into sharpening. And to have his acknowledgement and recognition of, you know, saying that I am an extremely skilled or extremely talented sharpener and that he highly recommends me, that is an extremely huge honor. It's definitely not taken lightly, and it's something that really makes me feel good, because I've put a lot of work, a lot of hard work, a lot of time, a lot of determination, persistence, patience, all of that into sharpening and, you know, perfecting my craft, which you are, as a sharpener, you will always continue learning and always continue improving. So, you know, there's no such thing as perfect, because I've topped what I used to think was perfect, you know, a million times over and over again, you know. So it just gets better and better. The more knives you sharpen and the more effort and attention you put into it, the better you get. So this knife I actually sharpened 3 times, and this knife was only getting a basic sharpening service, which is a working grit edge at an angle that I suggest, which is, you know, laying the edge back between 15 and 17 degrees per side, because it's going to be used for hard use cutting, not hard use as in prying and stabbing through steel. So, you know, I'm all about performance, and it is very enjoyable to cut with a knife that has good cutting geometry to start off with, and then to experience it after that geometry is further improved. Oh my god, the owner is in for a treat. This is my personal Gale Bradley 2. This one is sharpened at the same exact angle, but I gotta show you guys something. So the reason I sharpened this 3 times is because I was having an issue with the tip on one side, and it kept coming out funky, and I thought it was something that I did. Then I was thinking it was something wrong with my KME, and then after my 3rd time sharpening it and becoming really frustrated, because I got it extremely sharp all 3 times, and after the 3rd time it looked exactly the same as it did after the 1st time. And I finally, after comparing it, thank God I have my own Gale Bradley 2 here with me that I could compare it to. It helped reassure me that it's not something of my own fault, because I am extremely I'm an extremely tough critic of myself and my work. So here is what this side is looking like. This is the side that looks somewhat normal. I mean, I think it looks pretty good. And this is not meant to be a mere finish. It is a semi-polished edge, but I finished this off with 600 grit, and then I stropped with gunny juice on basswood, went down to 1 micron. I started at 6, so not a whole lot of stropping. And then here's the other side. So I'm sure you guys can see right away it gets a lot wider at the tip on this side. Now, does it look horrible? No. I mean, this is a nice clean edge. I did not create a smile. I did not scar up the plunge or the ricasso. You know, nice, very clean, very neatly done edge. So the reason for the funky tip is because this blade grind is uneven. And I'm going to show you guys how I was finally able to verify that that is the case. I suspected it, but I wasn't sure at first until I did some digging. The way I found out is by comparing these two knives side by side. So if you look here, let me get this zoomed in a little bit. Alright guys, so you're going to look at the flat grind, okay? And then where it changes to the darker color right there, you have the darker reflection. That is a swedge. Both knives have a swedge. Well, tell me what you notice about that swedge in the front. Does the swedge look bigger on one of them? The swedge is larger on mine. The swedge is smaller on his. And I don't know what else is going on, but obviously the blade steel has to be thicker here towards the tip than it is on mine, and than it is on the other side of this. Because I tried everything possible known to man, and I put way more time than what it was worth into this knife. A lot of people would have just said, you know, the knife's fucked and wrote it off, but I really care, and you know, I don't want anybody to think that I don't you know, care about their knives, and that I would not you know, go to the same extent that I go with my knives or anyone else's that I've done in the past for any reason. I go all the way with every you know, every edge that I do. I don't half-ass anything. So we're gonna go ahead, flip it over to the other side, and take a look. On this side, you can see the swedge is the same size on both knives. So obviously mine was an older model. Well, it's the same model. This is aftermarket scales, but there's different production runs. Obviously they're not all produced at the same exact time. So there's different batches of steel, different batches of blades, etc., etc. But you know, Spyderco is usually pretty freaking good with their blade grinds, but there has been some instances in the past when we're talking about not just their you know, standard flat grinds that is most common amongst them, when they do things like more complex grinds and swedges and different blade shapes that they're not as familiar with. Oftentimes you will see it's common to have certain little things, especially when it comes to swedges and knives that they do hollow grinds on. A lot of times the flat will be different on one side. It'll come out further on one side or the other. It was something that was really common on their Tantos, specifically the Blade HQ exclusives. It's really hard to find one of those that does not have an uneven blade grind. So just something to look out for if you're hunting one of those down on the secondary market. Don't pay $300, $100 markup to somebody for a knife that has an uneven blade grind. Make sure you are able to check that very well. So yeah, clear difference from side to side when we're talking this side and this side. So yeah, I actually haven't talked to the owner about it yet, but I'm sure he will be understanding. And I mean, honestly, I would think that he would just be appreciative that I went to the extent that I did, trying to make sure this was as perfect as possible for him. Alright guys, so let's see how sharp this sucker is. And another thing I just thought of that I forgot to mention, it's now been multiple occasions that things that Jared has either said or done for me has literally brought tears to my eyes, like tears of joy and happiness, just how much of a blessing he has really been. But this is a nasty freaking knife right here. Lighting's starting to get a little bit better. So yeah, it's not horrible, but I mean, that's as good as it's gonna possibly get with an uneven blade grind, just the way it is. I did my best. 150%. Alright, also want to show you guys another edge that I have recently done. This is my SpydeyChef. This is 15 degrees per side. I sharpened this up the evening of Mother's Day. And I had previously sharpened this knife, but I just wanted to touch it up and make it as nasty sharp as possible, just like all my knives. 15 degrees per side. This one is 1500 grit. KME Gold Series diamond plate, and then stropped with the gunny. Oh, sorry for all that noise and ruckus. I'm making a freaking mess. I apologize. Okay. So yeah, I wasn't necessarily going for a mirror, although I did get a freaking mirror because I'm just nice like that. It's like, no, LC200 takes a really good polish, and 1500 grit can give you a nice semi-polished edge just by itself. And with using the gunny juice on basswood, I mean, that's a done deal. I was trying to keep that in one piece. And this guy. So this guy is on the table because this knife is in from Scotch and Things. He is another knife channel. Great channel. I've been watching him for a long time. He gets all kinds of awesome knives in. He buys a lot of awesome knives. He gets awesome stuff in for review. He has really good taste in knives, in my humble opinion. We both are interested in a lot of the same knives. Very similar taste. He's into a lot of stuff that's a little bit out of my price range, but nonetheless, we still have very similar taste on a lot of things. And this is an absolutely beautiful example of a knife that he bought, and it is one that I have been wanting to check out for a while. So he was kind enough to send it in for me to check it out, review it, and yeah, I've had this for probably going on a week now, possibly a little over a week. It's gotten a little bit of pocket time. Very, very minimal cutting. Just cut up like a Hot Pockets box or something like that. Just to, to see how much bite the factory edge has. So, this thing cuts better than expected. It cuts better than a Hinderer does out of box, by a lot. The edge still leaves a little bit to be desired, but it's something that I feel could probably be fixed up, touched up on a strop, and perfectly functional just the way it is. This knife feels great in hand. I don't want to spoil too much because I want to save all those thoughts for the review. But boy, is this a looker. I mean, this is a showstopper right here. This is a, this is a bragging rights piece. This is something you pull out when you're trying to impress somebody. You pull this out, and the person is going to know, even if they're not into knives, they're going to be like, damn, what is that? They're going to know it didn't come from no gas station. So all right, and am I missing anything? The ZT-0308. This was a knife that I carried today, and yeah, that's why it's on the table. I still have yet to do the review on this, or maybe I did do the review on this. I can't even remember now. I'm up to so many knife reviews. I think I'm probably over 200 videos now. So yeah, pretty crazy stuff. Really cool knife. I think I did do the review, but Jared mentioned it in his last live stream, and it just made me think of, hey, I ought to carry that because it is a badass knife. Great ergos, feels great in hand, and it's a tank, and it's just, amazing action. Great lock bar access. Great closing action. Great detent. Great sound. Very fidgety. Awesome freaking knife right here. Really, really love this one. And I'm pretty sure I'll be able to link this one into I'm pretty sure I'll be able to link this in the video description also, along with the Civivi Chevalier, Spyderco SpydeyChef, possibly. Spyderco Gale Bradley 2, possibly, not sure. Spyderco Manix 2 XL, possibly. I think you might not be able to get these anymore. But if you can, I'll link it. And this one is definitely not available, so I apologize. This one is available. Highly, highly recommend the Zero Tolerance 0562 Ti. Amazing knife. So, probably one of the best sounding knives in existence ever. Alright guys, so I'm pretty sure that's long enough. So I appreciate you guys watching and listening to me mumbling and rumbling and rambling and all that shit. I love you guys. Jesus loves you. If you like what I'm doing here, if you're into these kind of knives, if you're into sharpening, if you love Spydercos, if you like what I do here, guys, hit the subscribe, hit the thumbs up, please. And one of the most important things you could do is to comment or share the video. That greatly helps it get out to more people, helps it to become more recommended, helps the channel to grow. And I appreciate any and all forms of support, no matter how small or large. You know, I greatly appreciate all of it. And yeah, you guys rock. So stay tuned. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.